Hi. I accidentally clicked the wrong button, so you didn't get to see my whole opening. But I wanted to know, as I usually do, can y'all hear me? Is everything going cool? Oh, I'd love to refresh my page. So good evening. How is everyone? I'm going to go back to my Facebook and see if you can hear me. I'll watch the responses here. I know, Janie, I accidentally, you know what? I'm going to do a do-over if you guys don't mind, because I worked really hard on that opening. So I'm going to play it again. Here we go. Ready, set? So that's it. It was only a few seconds, so I didn't mind backtracking. Thank you for bearing with me. Oh boy, today is just a great day and a very interesting day. I'm glad I'm doing my shows on Sundays now, because Sundays are my grateful days. So I'm really happy to do that. And I'm really grateful that Al Gore invented the internet. I mean, I have to say I would not be able to do this, and many people with our voice could not do what we're doing if it hadn't been for Al Gore. So thank you very much, Mr. Gore. I love how the left just touts all these great achievements that they're going to do. Recently Joe Biden said that he's going to cure cancer. We heard Obama say he's going to raise the sea levels, and I don't know. I think that here we have a president who the left can't stand, who has pretty much fulfilled, if not in the process of fulfilling, all the promises that he made. And I'm curious to see what more he's going to say that he's going to do in 2020 that he's going to accomplish. I just wish, my fantasy is at the end of his last term, which hopefully will be 2020, he will raise the sea levels, cure cancer, drop the mic, and walk out there, just pimp walk out the White House. That's what I would like to see, because he's a boss. All right, thank you for joining in the chat room. I'm going to check on you in 1 second. I got a lot of stuff going on here that I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to check the chat room right now, make sure that you all are there and you can hear me. It looks like you can so far. And again, I warn you about this staticky thing that's going on it's in my computer. I can't fix it, so I'm so sorry for that. But if you hear it, just bear with it. It's going to go soon. It'll end soon. Thank you for sharing. So much. Thank you for sharing. And what I've done is I really want people to host watch parties, because that's how I can get more eyeballs on the show. But listen, for the people who have been sharing, and I think I have everybody's names, you've gone on my closing of the show this week. So you'll see your name come up on a special closing that I have. If you thought the opening was cool, just wait, you see this closing. Yeah, so if you can host watch parties, that would be fantastic. But if not, that's okay. Just share my shows, share them on your page, share them. And I'm happy. Also, I'm switching over to a real page. I've been doing everything on my profile page. And those are two terms. You guys are more familiar with Facebook than I am. But my profile page was just my personal page. That's the page I'm assuming you're supposed to just put pictures of your grandchildren and what you cooked tonight and all that stuff on that page. But you're on that page, but on your page is what you're supposed to do, stuff like what I'm doing now. Oh, I didn't put my fireplace on. Oh well, it's gonna be chilly in here tonight. On my monitor, I usually have a fireplace going, even though it's like 100 degrees. I'm in California. So, but it's nice ambience, and it just looks really good. So, what was I saying? So yeah, so join my page, please go on. It's hard to get all my friends to go over to my page and like it, but that's where I'm ultimately going to want to be doing my shows. So I can, on my profile page, put up pictures of my grandkids and what I cooked that night. So I'm going to jump right into today's topic. And if you saw that the little the ad for it, it was what if the Democrats win in 2020? I mean, yeah, it seems kind of not feasible with the clowns that they have so far, and I'm not even quite sure who's in the running at this point. They're getting ready to have their debates soon, which seem really early to me. But nevertheless, last week, of course, we saw Trump's kickoff campaign rally, his speech, which again, oh God, he's just so much fun. People who don't get Trump at this point, I can't help you, because if he's funny, I get a sense of humor. I like his masculinity. There's a lot about Trump that I like, but if you don't get him, you don't get him. But if you don't have him, you don't have him in a couple of years for the next election cycle, the next administration. We could be in some deep, deep trouble. I was on Joe Messina's show the other day, and I said the thing that I liked most about Trump's speech was Melania. When she walked up, she rocked the house. I wish we could see more of her. I wish we knew more of her. I totally understand why she stays out of the public eye. But to be honest, they don't want her there because she's just going to show them up. Women on the left they're such jealous mongers. I'm checking back to the chat room, make everything is all cool. Okay, it looks like it's all cool. Okay, so yeah, Melania. And I'm like, when Melania walked out on stage, she dispelled all of the myths about Trump just when she walked on the stage. Okay, she dispels the myth about him being a misogynist or someone who hates women. I mean, here he is with the epitome, the personification of femininity and womanhood, and she's a mom, and she's brilliant, and she speaks several languages, and all the things that, the little bit we get to know about her is all good. So we sort of don't get the feeling that he hates women, and he has the most women in his administration than the previous left, who was supposed to love women and say we have a war on women. Also, when she walked out on stage, and starts to speak, she dispels the myth that he hates immigrants. Well, 2 sentences into her speech, we kind of get the inkling that she's not from Kentucky. All right, she is an immigrant, but she's the kind of immigrant that Trump talks about we need in this country, we embrace in this country, we love in this country. Someone who's a value to this country, and somebody, first and foremost, who does it legally. So she's a perfect example of that. And then lastly, I just have to say, wearing that hot yellow dress and hot yellow shoes to match, she totally dispelled the fact that he hates black people, because nobody could wear that outfit that Melania wore, but a black woman going to church on Easter Sunday, all she needed was the hat. And I'm telling you, we were like, okay, she worked it. So I'm a huge Melania fan, obviously. So I hate to see them go in 2020, and I hope that the media becomes a little bit more fair, especially towards Melania. Not especially, but they're not going to do it for Trump, so let's just get off that horse right now. People have asked me, how do I find my guests? I'm getting ready to bring on my first guest. People have asked me how I bring on my guests, or how do I find them? And sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're people I know, sometimes they're people that I find on Al Gore's internet. Thank you, Al, once again. And actually, if you guys have any recommendations of any people who you think, you kind of see which way I'm going. I like to have telephone conversations with people. It's very casual. It's not so topical. It's not going to be the stuff that you hear every day on the news. But if you guys have some people that you find interesting, let me know. But put it in the comment section. Don't DM me, because I do not, as a general rule, look at or respond to my direct messages unless I know you. So anyway, I have been seeing this name pop up, and I should probably try to get him on the horn. But I see this name pop up because he's a supporter of my shows, always has been, seems like, I don't know, seems like he has been. And I also realized that he has a couple things that are near and dear to my heart. He's a trucker, first of all, and I really appreciate the work that truckers do. And also he is an author. So, and of course, because I'm an author, I just thought it's just a natural fit. So you guys probably already know him. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get him on the line while I'm talking to you. Where is he? Where is he? Why am I not finding this? Why am I not finding this? I may have to call him because I think I had him come on my computer. I think I screwed up here. Dang. I try so hard. I try so hard. So Kelly, if you're listening, I'm going to do an audio with you instead of a video because I had you video me on my computer and I'm recording off of my computer. So that is kind of dumb. Let's see. Kitty. Sorry, people. This is like called dead air. Should I show my opening again? Kelly. Here we go. All right, so I am going to call him. Oh, I wonder if I can do it like this. I wonder if he's got FaceTime. Let's give this a try. Nope, not happening. All right. I hope he picks up. I'm going to read.
Hello, Sonia.
Kelly, I screwed up big time.
I'll tell you what, Sonia, you are a woman after my own heart. I mean, I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy. That's my writing style, and I love it. Let's just go with it.
Okay, so you're going to be audio, but I promise to have you back on. But you know what? I almost, after listening to you talk and then hearing my next guest, I almost changed the name of this show to Guys with Great Voices.
Awesome.
You should be a radio host yourself. So, okay, so let me do your so guys, there's nothing to look at here, nothing to see. I'm going to do your intro, and then we'll just jump right into the interview. So his name is Kelly Mack McCoy. I'm sure you have seen his name because we have like a gazillion mutual friends. He's a semi, pun intended, retired truck driver. He's turned author. He spent most of his career behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler, traveling extensively through 48 states, gathering a lifetime of material for his book. So, hello again, Kelly.
It's an honor, Sonia.
Thank you for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. So, my first questions are about your industry before we start even talking about your book. So, you know what? Just so people know who you are, I'm going to transition over to, so that's his name. Okay, so that's his name. And so I want to talk about your industry. And I know I live in California. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, Sonia. Right in the middle of Babylon, no less.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm looking for a place to get out. I really wanted to have you want to talk about how is San Antonio, because you're in San Antonio, right?
I am. I'm in the beautiful Texas Hill Country, just a little north of San Antonio.
You're in Hill Country. Okay, so I was looking in Hill Country to move. I was serious, even though I'd never been. I was seriously considering moving to Hill Country, and I found the house of my dreams, and it was a really great price. And I was getting ready to tell my kids that I was moving. And at the same day, my daughter and her husband invite us to breakfast, and they live pretty far from me. So I'm thinking something's up, something ain't right. So we go to breakfast and they give me a gift. I open up the gift and it's a onesie. They're getting ready to have my very first grandchild.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, wow. Now?
Yeah,
Seriously?
that's just playing dirty, Sonia. They do not want mom to leave.
That's so wrong. Yeah, what if they really weren't pregnant and it was just a ploy to get me to stay? But
all right.
So now I'm stuck here, and I'll ask you later about, there's two things I want to talk to you about is Texas, Hill Country now, and authoring. So, but getting back to your industry, I live in California, and the two major industries here are agriculture and logistics, getting it all where it's got to be, getting everything where it's got to be. And just last week, our wonderful powers that be, very typical to what they would do, and there's reasons for this. I guess there's two sides for every story, but they destroyed thousands of jobs in the freight industry at the Port of Los Angeles. And I know that as a truck driver, there's a lot of changes going on in your industry. Even though you're retired, you're still privy to that stuff. What's going on in your industry, and how will it affect us?
Well, a lot of truck drivers won't even go into California now because of all the crazy regulations. And many of them can't go into California because, they won't accept the older trucks. They got all the crazy emission laws and so forth, which they're trying to, enforce on the rest of the country. But it's a scary world out there on the road. If most people knew what was going on in the industry, they wouldn't even get out on the highway. And it's getting scarier all the time with all the regulations. We had NAFTA, which has been going on for years, the North American Free Trade Agreement, in which one of the aspects of that was that Mexican drivers want to apply the roads of America and Mexican trucks, basically with Mexican wages and so forth. That was fought bitterly, as you can imagine, by those in the industry. And President Trump, God bless him, he said that NAFTA was the worst deal ever made in the history of deal making, or worse to that effect. And so he's replaced it with something called the USMCA, United States Mexico Canada Agreement, which has been signed but not ratified at this point. And so he's one of the great things he's done is start to work on our crumbling infrastructure, and that's another problem we all deal with. So that's a subject we could talk about all night with the things going on in the industry. It's pretty scary out there.
And you mentioned when we had our pre-interview something about electronic, like some automated drivers.
Yeah, the autonomous trucks, and that is actually going to be at the forefront of the whole industry of the self-driving vehicle, I believe, because there's so much money in that, and as much as none of us really like it, or very few of us do, I think it's probably in our future because so many billions of dollars are being invested in it, and it's actually happening as we speak. There are test runs going on in Arizona and Nevada and maybe some other places I'm not aware of, but they're going to have platooning, they call it, where you have a lead vehicle that drives down the road and has a driver monitor it, and then you have trucks behind it follow it, and then a lot of these are going to have drivers in remote locations driving these semis on the road. It's just one scary component of the brave new world, of artificial intelligence.
That sounds a little scary, but it sounds like scary. Something, we're not going to be able to avoid. And that's what happened in the port of Los Angeles, is those jobs went to automated jobs, and they're losing, I think it was estimated 500, they're losing 500 employees per day on that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty, I get the future and changes of the future, but I think in a state like California where we're so broke and we're going downhill, why add insult to injury at this point?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy out there. I mean, I've been to California not too long ago, and California used to have the best roads in the country. They used to have the best infrastructure in the country overall, and now the whole state is crumbling. Yeah.
It's a bad place. So we heard, and that was one of my questions, is how has Trump been more or less helpful to your industry? But how do you foresee it looking? What does it look like to you if the Dems take power in 2020? And it's, what? A lot of people laughed when I put that up, but I say never underestimate anything. So
go ahead.
No. So what does that look like to you if the Dems take control in 2020?
Well, if the Dems take control in 2020, if Hillary had won in 2016, then we would already have Mexican drivers driving all over the United States and working for 1/6 of what truck drivers make here, and the downward spiral would continue. One of the things that many truck drivers do not like about what the Trump administration did is they did away with the per diem for truckers, and it's supposed to have an offset with some of the other tax cuts. And so there was one of the shows I just saw here recently on one of the major networks that have exploited that and had a so-called town hall meeting with truck drivers, and all it was about was that one issue, which, they were probably Democrats to start with. But, overall, and truck drivers are just people after all, with families and lives and so forth. And so a Democratic administration would just be, it would be a disaster for us economically. He's bringing back manufacturing and bringing back the ability of blue collar workers to make a living, and that's just one aspect of it.
Yeah, that's, and you're the very people that Democrats seem to have disdain for. So, that brings me actually to my next question. The left perpetuates the myth that there's only one type of trucker, like there's only one type of soldier, that they're too dumb to do anything else. And, like they call it most of America flyover country. I think that they call these workers, look over jobs. They don't exist to the left. But when I was doing my pre-interview with you, you told me that your industry is very diverse. Can you tell them about that?
It is absolutely the most diverse industry out there, Sonia. And this is really driven home even to me. I taught in a truck driving school for some time while I was reinventing myself and trying to find a little bit of time to write. I would have such a diverse bunch in there. For somebody to have a bachelor's degree to go through a truck driving school is very common. And I had a number of students with master's degrees, believe it or not. And I even had one gentleman who had not one but two PhDs. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I would get another gentleman that come through. He had barely made it through grade school and just got out of prison. So I'd have this guy just got out of prison in the morning, and then my guy with two PhDs in the afternoon. So it appeals to people in a lot of walks of life. The guy with the PhD, he gets to spend all day long, if he so desires, listening to books. And that's a dream world for some guys.
I wish I knew a truck driver, and I was like, God, I wish I could do this. This will give me a lot of time to do some of the stuff that I really enjoy doing. But those big trucks, they scare me. So they're just too big. So your book, let's jump on that for a second before I let you go. Your book is called Rough Way Highway. Tell us what it's about and where we can get it.
Well, the protagonist in Rough Way to the Highway is a trucker, as you can imagine. He's from a pretty rough background himself up in Pampa, which is in the Texas Panhandle. And he has an uncle that takes him out of the road, and that is his escape from his rough background. And so he develops this kind of sentimental, unrealistic view of trucking. And he later becomes married and marries his childhood sweetheart, moves to Kerrville, a beautiful area in the Texas Hill Country, and he lives a kind of a normal pastor's life until his wife is murdered. Ooh. And so he can no longer continue his life in the ministry without her. So he goes back to the only thing he knows how to do, and that is to drive a truck. So he sells everything he owns, buys a new Peterbilt, as circumstances would have it. His first load leads him back to the Panhandle, and he spots a hitchhiker. He's moved to pick him up. The hitchhiker reminds him of his abusive dad who died in prison. Ooh. All of that is backstory. Mm-hmm. The novel opens up when he's up here in Pampa, and he picks up the hitchhiker, and it goes from there. Okay, good. Kelly,
I was going to say, don't give it away because we're already hooked. So where do they can get it on Amazon right now?
They can get it on Amazon. It's available. You can go to roughwaytothehighway.com, my website, and buy it at any of the 5 online retailers there. It's available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere books are sold online. It is working its way into physical bookstores. It's available at many Indigo bookstores in Canada and some Barnes & Noble stores in the U.S. So maybe in other locations I'm not aware of. But the short answer is it's available at Amazon or anywhere you like to buy books.
Yeah, that's the easiest place. And I learned so much from listening to your interviews about how to get published, where to get published, and how, there's a lot of people. I always say everybody's got a story in them. They may not know how to put it in that mold or that model that is good storytelling. But really, most of us do have a story to tell, and I hope to be able to move into that soon to help people write their stories. So I have a fondness for authors, and I'm so glad you could join me today, Kelly, even if it wasn't in person.
Well, thank you for having me, Sonia, and I look forward to doing it in person in the future.
Okay, good. Thank you. Take care.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, so that was Screw Up 2 for tonight. I get three strikes, and I'm out. Let me check the chat room. I guess. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm looking at. All right, so like I said, I really love the people who I'm meeting on Facebook, and Kelly Mack McCoy, who you just heard, was one of them. And I love it too because it's an easy way to catch up on the news. And lately in the news, you all know the topic. It's got to come up. I'm black. We don't have to talk about it. It's reparations. Ay vey, I'm so sick of the reparations. For the left, it's in the spotlight. It's front and center. And their debates are coming next week. I really literally get my news off the Facebook. And I do think I heard that. I'm going to go in the chat room. I do think that they're having their debates next week. I don't even know who's in the run. It's like a cavalcade of knuckleheads, but it should be really good television. Really good television. But anyway, so reparations. And I'm just going to say this right here. Let me see if I can find her. Do I believe in reparations? I'm going to say something very controversial right now. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, we can. But it has to be done in a way that I believe in. And searching the internet, Al Gore's internet, I found a debate between Black conservatives and left Black people, Black conservatives and Blacks on the left, which is definitely worth watching the whole thing. But I have edited a portion of a woman who is my hero. She does reparations the way I think they should be done. And she's beautiful. She's impressive. She's a Black conservative woman. She has an incredible story, and she puts her money where her mouth is, as opposed to the left, who takes your money to put it where they think it should be, where it should be put. So here you go. I'm going to jump right into that. It's really only about 4 minutes, and I think you'll love every moment of it. And then I'll come back and introduce my next guest. All right? Okay.
For those of us who identify as conservative, right? I want to hear about your treatment within the Black community, being an outspoken Black conservative, and then I want to hear about the perceptions that you think people have of you.
It started with my high school friends. Everybody was unfriending me on Facebook because, I was talking about the Trump and I went to the inauguration and all of that. So and then it trickled down to my family. Aunts won't speak to me even now. I got aunts that don't talk to me because I want to be white. So it's like I get this stigma all the time. Oh, you want to be white and you don't move to New York City and now you think you up there with the big city folk and you want to be white. It seems like when I speak of what I speak of, it's only the fact that I just want to be white. And that's so far-fetched from the truth. I've been called a bed wench. I've been called, and I'm talking about from my Black brothers who on they page we talking about Black queens and all of this stuff like that. But the moment I don't agree with nothing they talking about, now I'm a bed witch. Now you know what I'm saying? I'm all this other stuff. And it's just like, to be honest with you, ain't nobody been boss enough to say none of this stuff in my face. And they not gonna. All of this is via social media. We know this. But at the same time, it's just like hatred. It's been nothing but hatred. And, for me, it's like, even when with liberals who may have their little mindset or way they think, I ain't gonna disrespect them and call them all types of names. It's like I gain all that flack and disrespect, and it's just like because I want to be white, this is what I get. I'm free.
So you voted for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Would you mind telling us why he won your vote in 2016?
At first, I really didn't know much about what Trump was doing. I just knew, okay, it ain't her. So I'm just going to vote for him. And I was still coming into being a conservative and all of that. And I just got converted to a Christian. I'm looking at my Christian values and I'm as a Christian, I'm realizing, wow, you know what I mean? This man is really aligning himself with what we truly believe in, and coming from the South, Charlotte, North Carolina, we're really Christians, you know what I'm saying? Where my people from, everything is based off of that. So I'm not going to support any party that's going to support abortion. You know what I'm saying? We just now getting kind of comfortable with homosexuality, you know what I'm saying? And also, it's just like with marriage, divorcing and everybody sleeping with every time they can hear, in the South, it ain't like that. So it's like, that's just that foundation of Trump. But now going into the economy. I'm a businesswoman. I have my own financial consulting company, and seeing what he's been doing to where my taxes are not that high, and I'm not paying for what I came from, aka living off of food stamps, and I got family on food stamps that continue to live off of it. And I know, listen, I came from the hood. I was just in the hood yesterday because my cousin just got out of jail, so I went to go see him. So, I mean, this is what I'm around every day. And it's like, my cousins got the same opportunities I got. All they know about is either they're going to make it in basketball or they're going to have to just get some type of job and make it. I'm like, no, let's start a business. So, like, let's get this chicken. Let's get into real estate. Let's do this, that, and the other.
Reform is helping certain people, you know.
It's helping me.
But it's temporary. You have the tax.
So you run your own business, not
listen,
It's not temporary. Let me tell you something.
I just want to finish my statement.
Sure.
What I'm saying is this, for me, because I was able to step out, and this is a chick who got a felony, who had 5 years probation, who got a felony for grand larceny, which came down for money laundering. So when I say I was doing white collar crime, I was out here in the streets hustling, scamming, please, okay? And what I did was I made a choice to surrender my life to Jesus and live righteously. And so what he did was he put me in a position to where now I can teach people about finances and how to get out of the illegal game and clean their money the right way, get their credit on point, get into real estate, flip houses, and live a good stewarded life with money. So now I'm taking my cousins who all sell drugs. All of my cousins sell drugs. If they're not playing ball, they're selling drugs. If they in jail, they're getting out to sell drugs because they're too old for ball. So all they know how to do is get money. So how do you tell somebody who's been getting money all their life, oh, so now I'm about to work a regular job, like get paid and they're going to take tax on my check, and then they don't even know where their taxes is going, so they just work 40 hours a week. They thinking they about to get a nice little $500 check and say $250. They're like, wait, what? I'm about to go sell drugs again. So now I have to teach them how to get out here in the legal game, and let's flip this money the right way. And again, the taxes that are placed on these businesses can either help us or hurt us. And what Trump is doing is helping me teach my cousins in the hood how to move so that they can get money and not keep busting people upside the head for money or selling drugs to people. These people that are continuously living on welfare, we're paying for it. So the more you're giving them in food stamps, the more you're allowing them to extend their lifestyle in the projects, the more money is coming out of my pocket as a taxpayer, and then now it's hindering my business. Well, now I'm not paying that much taxes. I got more money. So now if I need to say to homie, yo, listen, I got 5 racks. I'm about to invest this into you so we can start working on your business. And if we're going to let the money circulate, once it circulates, you can go out on your own. If taxes is taking that money, how can I take that 5 racks and give it to them?
Okay, I'm back. I don't even know how to follow that. She's amazing. I love her story. I love her. I love her. If the Democrats were talking about doing reparations, repairing, helping the Black community in a manner that's like that, and it's voluntary, and there's a logical, positive outcome that can happen as a result of it, I'm down. But I'm not down with stealing people's money under the force of law and giving it to people randomly, however you deem fit. That's crazy. But I realize we do have to find a way to talk about this. And somebody who was probably really sick of talking about this is my next guest. I'm going to go ahead and call him up because I know that I can do him visually. Hi, I'm sorry I'm running behind. I'm just doing the typical girl thing. Sorry I'm running behind. Are you there?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hi. You are a little low. I can only see like your eyes and your nose. So if you can pull up. So I'm going to go ahead and let you adjust while I do your intro. His name is Ron Edwards. You guys would probably know him too because you know everybody. He's a host of the Edwards Notebook. It's a syndicated radio commentary, and he is a talented and gifted commentator, to be sure, with over 3 decades of experience. He's well-versed as a journalist with a fiery delivery of humor, information, and thought-provoking conversations. In fact, the Edwards Notebook is an award-winning commentary, and it delivers a wealth of information. There you go. That looks good. Okay. So you guys can see him. I'm going to make some adjustments here. You're used to this, so don't act like you ain't. This is kind of weird, though. Okay, so I may have to hold you a little bit, which is going to be weird. Oh, that's better. That's better. Let me see if I can change your graphics. And if I could pull you over. Now you're looking groovy. They won't see me, but they don't need to see me. They've had enough of me. Hello, Ron.
Hi there.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. It's great to be here. It's an honor to be here, in fact.
Great. Yeah, no problem. And happy belated Juneteenth.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I don't know if you've heard it. I mean, I come from the inner city in Los Angeles, and I have heard that we should not celebrate July the 4th because it's not our holiday.
Really?
You've never heard that?
I've heard that, but that's,
Okay.
I just think that it's another ridiculous.
Oh, you're going in and out really bad. I wonder why that is.
Hear me now?
Yes, it's just that you were going in and out. It was like a bad phone conversation. Let's hope that doesn't persist because I have about 3,000 questions for you. Yeah, I was wondering if that Juneteenth or I've never met anybody who actually celebrated Juneteenth. Do you know anyone who does?
Not officially, but I hear about it.
Yeah, it's recognized.
It's brought up and everything, but I've never seen any or heard it real celebrations.
Yeah. So let's get on to reparations. I know you were on a Fox affiliate this morning. I was watching a little bit of your interview. You're probably totally sick of this conversation, but we really do need to, on our side, know how to talk about it. So they're assuming that it's going to restore all historical wrongs and make everyone more equal. What is your view on this?
Well, I know they say that, but I believe they know that's not true. But it's like Democrats push ideas, programs, whatever, and they know they're only trying to burden the system with more economic relief for the people, some kind of that have no contribution to it. I mean, how do you pay rent in the manner they're proposing it? People are not, slavery happened a long time ago. And the last time I checked, there are no saying that reparations to pay directly affected by the situation. And based upon that definition, it's a time to pay out reparations. And to be honest with you, I don't think we really intend to do it, but it's something to create a wedge between people. It's just an idea that they keep floating around every time, especially when the Democrats get desperate. They don't have any ideas during these elections. So the only thing they can trot out is either they're attacking that the idea that he himself just said he wasn't going to take this study. Okay, so I don't feel tend to do it. They cannot do it logically. If you want the best reparation, if you want to call it that, is a job. It's the opportunity to build your own business, to create wealth, lower taxes, a good quality education. All of them not wasting our money. Contributions to schools and do nothing for generations of young Americans. And how about those things? And then the problems they bring up themselves out. I think problems like this need to be more organically and made as to the people supposed to help and to the country.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that because under the economy of Trump, the economy is the highest and the number of volunteer employment, aka non-slavery gigs, are at its highest. Couldn't we say that Trump is already paying that debt and we don't need reparations because he's already given us that opportunity to be repaired?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to build on that. If reparations is also based on bitterness. And one of the problems, particularly in my community, is just the the idea of debating against the fact that if you're not a bitter man or a bitter black woman, something's wrong when it comes to the United States of America. I learned from studying like Frederick Turner Truth that they didn't rise by being bitter, because if you just remain bitter and hatred, you're just a pain in the and you, much like people today that are just running around here, just like the interview that the young ladies you showed so the young ladies talking about bitter people that turn like snakes basically because they're not like they do. And that is the thing that continues to Americans. You don't think of these women, I hate you, I'm gonna tear you down. And if I can get away with it, I'll assault you. And this goes every single day. So many women, I black Americans. Then they turn around like lunatics and blame the whitey for the problems. And run around acting like white men is a superhuman. There's economically or any other. So black people really need to get it. Because Democrats, while they're leaving this here and reparations, they're bringing both truckloads, trainloads of illegal border crossers across our border to replace blacks. This is a real situation in our country. Democrats have never liked this unless they accept it during election time. And they're being done. And the reason why they're doing it is black people are, enough of them are being seen the real deal here. And Democrats know that in the of ideas, they lose. Successful by its they rely on ignorant people. And unfortunately for them, lectures living from Central America and here coming from East people that want to come to this country.
You know, your phone's cutting in and out. I want to jump in here for 1 second.
Sure.
If I think that if you teach a black person to fish, they will never vote Democrat. And I think that's their incentive of not allowing them. I just heard or read a statistic yesterday that said 75% of black boys in public schools, these are government-run schools, by the way, cannot read. What are some of your ideas on how money can be properly spent? And I'm not talking about putting money back into the school board, to the unions where it can be utilized politically the way they want, and in the meantime our children can't even read. How do you think we can discuss this in a way that's as emotional as they do, because it's hard to win emotions with logic and facts. So when we say who's going to pay for this and this and that and the other, I don't know that we win this argument, and I certainly don't think we win it by being on the defensive. I wish we could find a way of us coming out and doing this on the offensive. What are some of your ideas of how we can do this and win this argument?
Well, first, when it comes to education, just gotta wipe out this issue of ignorance. I get rid of the Department of Education, and that's billions and billions of dollars that would be put back into the economy. And education has to be returned back to the local authorities. And with more parental input, that's aspect. People have to be able to succeed in life. Also, have to continue to have a vibrant economy. People need to start some efforts of this administration continue to stimulate the economy. When it comes to, they always talk about giving money to help. Well, the job of helping people to help shit. And I think that should also be churches used to be very prevalent in many communities, especially in this, in helping the city. And they did it more efficiently than the government, which bases mostly tax companies. Another aspect, we have to teach people that take that you learn how to take care of yourself. Government, the place of government, at least in this country, is not to take care of people. We are the straw that stirs the drink. We are the ones who fund the government through our tax dollars. And we have to take back over. We have to remind them that to be reliant on government, leading and out, that is not a great life dream. And we have to elevate the thinking of individuals when it comes to life, their aspirations. And we also have to begin to start teaching young children how to appreciate this nation. Teaching people to remind them that we're all created by equal. That everyone is, that there's no big eyes or and we cannot rely on leftist Democrats to begin to tell us we are victims and that everyone is all against us.
Amen.
Frederick Douglass proved that this time, as rough as life was for Black Americans then, look at the grief that gives his life. Now, if you do that then, I'm sorry, we have no excuses today.
Right. You know, but sadly, the left perpetuates this ideology of ungratefulness. So it's really, I mean, we have a real job to do. And you know what's interesting? And someone said this to me today, and I was like, yeah, that's right. They act like every white person in the South owned a slave. No, they didn't. It's like everybody owns a Cadillac or a Lexus or a Tesla. No, they don't. There's only a certain amount of people who are privileged enough, rich enough to have that amount of land and farm area that they needed to work. So we're talking about not an entire section of white people yet. Every white person, every black person is supposed to pay into this thing. And their argument, and I hear this argument, I'm curious to hear how you would respond to this. They say, okay, so not every white person was a slave owner, but every white person today is benefiting from what the slaves did. So how do you wrap your head around that and try to explain it to people who just really don't want to hear it, but you try it anyhow?
Well, I try not to wrap my head around it because it's a stupid concept. Most people do not. By the way, they don't like hearing this. There were some black slave owners, and speaking of that, I think it was in Virginia, back in the 1600s, it was black who went to court for the right to keep indentured servants permanently, and I think what open were to rampant slavery in this country. So, black people also involved in slavery industry. But if you want to, you know, like I said today in that discussion, take this to the degree if you're rid of reparations for slavery. What about 27 million slaves who are being pulverized now? The Middle East. What about, this could just go on forever. I mean, seriously. But like I said earlier, this is an idea that not carried out, especially when it's discussed, and they're going back to study it again. We've got to walk away from these stupid ideas. We've got to start teaching slavery or whatever. And we also have to encourage a higher thinking. We've got to get our heads out of the political gutter and get our heads out of the back and all the base of the Democratic Party. I listen to you, right? These black and stuff, and the only thing these people talk about is how bad things are in America, how bad Trump is, it's more blacks are still this victim. We need to help them, this, that, and the other. I mean, there's nothing, there ain't nothing that bring that sparse imagination.
Right.
There's nothing inspiring, nothing. And so we just have to walk away from it. And we have to develop our thing and get
That's
back
funny.
to real solid principles.
Yeah, you're almost talking about tough love here. It's funny, like all my shows, it seems to boil down to one thing: is homeschool, and you know, because they're not getting it out there. I am so, you know, I can't understand what you're saying. I'm sort of lip reading, and I can't wait to watch this show because you're getting a lot of great response in the chat room, and I want to hear what you have to say. But to be honest, I can hear virtually little of it, and I hope that they can hear it okay. You're a radio talk show host, and I hear on the street that the GOP is on life support. Are you getting that impression from the people? This is a switch gears now from reparations. Do you think that we are unmotivated, or I mean, I saw the Trump rally the other day, and we don't look unmotivated. We may not be doing it through the GOP and the old good old boy stuff. But are you getting the sense that we're losing momentum and that we might be lazy about 2020?
Yes and no. I see in one aspect, I see continued great energy in the Republican Party amongst the true conservatives. And unfortunately, in the Republican Party, you have a lot of sleepyheads, people like Mitch McConnell, these vinyl type, and it is because of them that the Republican Party could be on life support. Because remember, a couple of years ago, we had the House.
Right.
They were obstructing the president. They weren't doing anything to help the president than what the Democrats are doing now, other than the tax increases. And for the most part, they have done nothing to the president. So on that basis, the Republican Party is killing itself. It's the Republican Party is a in counties around the country, conservative, like in Texas, Governor Abbott, people like that are doing things. Republican is strong.
Good.
It's like here in Michigan, because we had a very Republican governor, a Wimpus Americanus, a politician. Right? He was no good. And guess what? Now we have a stone-faced leftist. Basically, she's a communist who's like weak Republican governor.
Oh, jeez.
And so we're that you see, or the downfall of the Republican Party, is mostly self.
Right.
We're too afraid to fight.
Good Lord.
And that's the problem.
So how do you think that? Okay, and I could talk to you forever. Trump gave them the best example of how you win, and how you win by not being a wuss. Why don't you think some of them are like grabbing their stuff? They're not just like, okay, it's time to move forward. We got a leader. We can start acting like men. Let's get out here and women, and let's get out here and follow that lead. Why is that not taking hold with some of these wimps?
Well, it's something that I had to learn apart. A lot of these Republicans, about a third of them, are not conservatives.
Right.
And their philosophical base is populist mentality, people like Mitt Romney. If you remember when Ali Obama was in office, Mitt Romney and other Republicans, they never complained about Obama, no matter what Obama did.
That's right. Oh, they're good at that.
Yet these same Republicans have taken the time to tear down the character of Trump. And it amuses me how hypocritical these are. Trump basically was a that was his biggest sin, right? Yet have individuals like just about all the Democrats who are lit on a mission to this Republican, witness Republicans who are basically helping. You know, you've got Lincoln and a few others like that. Didn't happen. But now, no, even Lindsey Graham was an enemy of Trump. And till the Republicans start standing on their own beautiful platform as a unit, they're going to continue to see cracks in their armor. I think that even though President Trump will be reelected, it'll be a big struggle in the state, in the Congress.
It's ridiculous. I mean, here we have a guy who showed them how to do it and showed that it works, and look at his crowds. None of them could get anything close to the excitement that Trump gets. You would think that they would be following his lead. Okay, so next week, I think next week they're having the first Democrat convention, and I'm just curious who you think is going to be one of the Democrat serious contenders. I know one of the problems I have with Kamala are many. But one thing that really particularly bothers me is she says that the drug dealers that are in jail should be able to come out and sell drugs legally. That we need to do this on a federal level. And I'm like, what did Bush say? The soft bigotry? That ain't even soft bigotry. The soft bigotry of low expectations.
Oh, yes.
How much do you have to hate black people to suggest that we should become professional legal drug dealers?
Well, I put that along with their appreciation of open borders. I mean, I lump all these kind of issues together, and this lowbrow way of thinking of what was Kamala, what was Spartacus, all these guys, they're equal,
Right.
Equal nutcases as far as I'm concerned.
Equal nutcases.
The person who I think is going to a front run, my God.
Yeah.
That's a tough one because they're all equally bad. I guess
They're all bad in our eyes, but try to put on your little liberal hat right now and see it through their eyes. Who do you think?
okay.
And it is a little hat because they don't have many brains. So
Yeah, for the time being, Uncle Joe.
okay.
For the time being.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's because he pretended for a long time, this little guy, but people don't really look into it. For instance, people running around including me saying, well, he's center left, he's not that bad like Nancy or left. Well, he's been left for a long time. It was, believe it or not, Joe Biden that told Obama into some marriage between men, between men. And so,
Interesting. And you didn't mention Bernie because he was such a big draw the last time.
No, but he's fading fast. I won't mention him because he's done.
Okay, cool, good. I'm glad to hear it because I tend to panic easily. So I'm glad to hear that from you. You're on the radio. You hear from people what they're saying, so you get a better gauge of this than I am. I'm sitting upstairs by myself in my jammies from the bottom down. So tell everybody where they can see you, where they can find you.
Well, you can of course find me overnight. It's carried on a very popular show. And I'm also on the show 3 times a week. It's overnights. You can also catch my show Fridays on AmericaMatters.us. It emanates from the flag station KCKQ out of Reno, Nevada. And my show is also KYAH 540 Utah and several other stations around the country. On Twitter, you can follow me there at the Ron Edwards. And so be on Facebook, Friends Edwards Notebook page. And I have 2 other pages on Facebook.
Good Lord.
So a column for News with Views and Capitol Buildings.
Okay, Ron, you're everywhere. We cannot avoid you. So thank you. I'm so looking forward to looking at this interview because I couldn't hear anything very well, but I don't see anything in my chat room. Let's see if we can get you in here. There's nothing in the chat room that says that nobody could hear. I'm really looking forward to listening to this interview because you gave such good information. I could see their responses in here. Where are we? Thank you, and I would love to have you back on again if you don't mind.
Oh, I'll be anytime.
All right.
It's an honor, and I love what you do. I do check you out as well, and very smart company. You've got a lot of great ideas.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay,
Thank you.
talk to you soon.
All right, bye now.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay. Oh, hold on. Holla. Okay, so I really hope you guys heard that interview. I didn't see anybody who said they didn't. I just know that I couldn't. I was lip reading most of the time, and every once in a while I'd catch something that was like, ooh, this is good. So hopefully that will have been your response too. So I'm gonna sign out. It's 8 o'clock. I want you to stick around for the closing credits. You too can be on the closing credits. All you gotta do is share my show a bunch. And if I forgot somebody's name, just please let me know, because it wasn't on purpose. I just am collecting these all over the place. So your names should hopefully show up on the closing credits. I also asked you to go to the Sonia Schmidt Show, which is my page. And that, if you can please like that page, we're gonna start doing this show from that page instead of my profile page. So please go on that show. I'm trying to transfer everybody over from my regular personal page to that page, like I said, so I can put up pictures of my grandkids and my cooking. Also, you've seen it, it's right down here on the lower thirds. Subscribe to left-it.net and you will get freebies and updates on what's going on with my book. I really need to start getting that out to you so you can see what my adventures in Hollywood are, my miracles, and the things that led me to leave the left. Because I left the left long before the Lexit and the Brexit and the Mexit and all that kind of stuff is happening. And lastly, there was one more thing I was supposed to remind you of. And doggone it, I'm going to be so mad if I forget about what this is. If somebody would remind me, that would be really nice. I need an assistant. All right, so anyway, see you next week. Love you. I'm going to try to find my show closing. And thank you again for sharing.